what time it is. Marvin Devine, Huber, Axel, and you know how we do. Yeah, I got the juice. Whip game cool, make them look like cool. Always play it cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing that. I've been making loot since like 22. Ask me how I made it right here in the booth. I'm always pursued cause of what I pursue. That's greatness, yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, wanna get in my crew, but you can't get in my crew. Me, XL, and Huber way too fireable. When this joint drop, better call the troops. And when you hear the drop, better raise the roof. Better raise the roof. You already know what happens when we link up. Let's go. Yeah.
Y'all ready for this? Yeah.
This is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 in the kidney one. Not my girl, and say, this is. Oh my goodness. You hurt me when you stick me. Maybe you need to slow down. I mean, when you have to stick me and everything, because I mean, it's already a 15 gauge needle, and I'm trying to do the right thing and sit here because I need my treatment and everything. But you stick it in hard, you jug it in my arm, and I don't like that. I don't have to like that, and I might want to speak to somebody because I'm not liking that. Now, if you're upset, I don't like anybody to put me up on that's upset or having a bad day or practice on me, not unless I give you permission to practice on me, because I know people have to learn, but I just don't feel like being in an assembly line or a guinea pig at this time. All right, so just be careful of what. No, matter of fact, no. I want him. He's always been good. Thank you. Can you come over here, Tamika, please come in over here and deal with me, because this person, I don't know what's going on with her today. She's not usually this bad, but I don't know. I'm just not liking it, but I know. This is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 in the kidney world. Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy 4th of July. Oh, it's good to talk to you and see you and everything like that. Thank you for tuning in. Just before I really start the show, just, give you a couple of little tidbits. I got that's what my new earbuds. I got my old ones over there, but I got my new earbuds in. So sometimes you need some. I bought it for my phone, but I can also use it for my laptop. So that's good news, right? And I had something else I wanted to show you. Oh, sometimes when you're trying to move or consolidate stuff in the house, this is always good to put your clothes and stuff in and then suck it and make it skinnier or smaller just to make room. Because sometimes we live in small parts, so people just have a room or just have a small place that they live in. So it's always good, that you have your stuff or get your stuff. This is one of the bags I got at the community fair that I was went to a resource fair for the young people, and it's called the assembly, the community board was given it. And then, you know, you got your community board and you got the district 19 and the community board. So, you know, it's always good to get involved in those things in your neighborhood. And you could bring kidney awareness there in those different places that you visit and go to or have a day at. All right. And this one is Cypress Hills. All right. Cypress Hills. And they help with a lot of stuff, jobs, apartments, GEDs, ESL, a little bit of programs that can send you. All right. So Cypress Hill Local Development Corp is in Brooklyn, and their number is 833-429-7737. I will put it in the chat later on, but I just wanted to talk to you about it first. Put it out there, let you know somebody's out there need help, and somebody want help and resources. Okay. So this is what we want to give you. All right. Let's get this show going. Let's get this show started. And thank you, Jared, for producing the show tonight. I appreciate you very much. Tell your family thanks. Okay, now, I would like to introduce my guest. This guest that I have on the show tonight, she has her own foundation, all right? And this foundation that she started is a gem of a foundation. I mean, she's really out there for the community and everything. At RDT, right? All right, Bright Light Foundation is called, and her name is Annie Gibbs, and we're welcoming Annie Gibbs to the show. She's out there doing her thing and giving up stuff for the community. I ain't mad at her. I'm gonna let her tell her own story. Welcome, Annie Gibbs, to the Lisa Baxter Show. Whoop whoop!
Hello, Lisa.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're doing the show tonight, and I know it's it's 4th of July and everything like that. I have my family all over the house downstairs. I keep telling them to be cool or be quiet down there, but they know it's the show and everything, and they support me, so I ain't mad at them. Hopefully nobody busts in here. But anyway, I'm so glad you're doing the show tonight, and I want so many people to hear about what you're doing and how you do it and everything like that. So before that, before you started your foundation, what else or what job did you hold before you started it or while you're still doing it?
Oh, I've been in the insurance industry for 20 years. I did life insurance, the property and casualty. In 98, I went to Hondros College and I received those 2 licenses. So that's a 20-year career, after working in a factory. The first 20 I worked, and then so I started a new career after that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know how it is to work in a factory. I worked in a factory too. I worked as a waitress and, a lot of other jobs before I got to the job or the job I decided to either retire at. Learn something from the job, So insurance, that's very interesting. What did you do in the factory job?
In the factory job, it was an aluminum factory, and that actually I came out of high school and went there. So that was one of my first jobs I had, and I actually stuck to it for those years.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was interesting. It was hard work at some places, but I learned a lot. And, it gave me that foundation to want to have a good work ethic, so.
Oh, wow. Well, that's good. You had longevity at your job.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing. That's always a good thing. I don't believe in jumping around from job to job, but when I was younger, I noticed I had about 2 years and I was gone. 2 years I was gone. I didn't know what that was about, but I changed down the line, and you live and you learn. That's all too.
Absolutely.
You live and you learn.
I'm not saying that, yes, absolutely. Yeah. I'm not saying that I've never done anything else. I have, done several other jobs, you fill the gaps when you need to. So the insurance was actually, the top, the echelon of my work, because I was a district training manager with Farmers Insurance. So that was a great experience, but it didn't last as long as I would have liked it to.
Oh, okay. All right. So insurance. Tell us what you do with your job that you're holding down for the last 20 years with the insurance before we jump into the foundation, because I'm definitely riding up into that foundation.
Well, the insurance was actually very interesting. I'll tell you what, it was hard work as far as I would say traveling without a GPS. I got lost a lot. So from 20 years ago, we didn't have that luxury. So that was one of the, challenges of insurance. But I loved doing insurance. I just loved insuring people who just didn't understand it, and it's really good when you can explain things in layman's terms where they understand it. Insurance is very simple. It's very easy. You're not making me rich. And so it's better to just go ahead and take care of your family in that aspect. Get a term policy until you can afford to get a whole life policy. And a lot of people think that, I'm not going to get a $200,000 policy. Somebody might kill me for it. But, that's just myth, but people do. But, just go ahead and insure your family, because there's so many ways to insure your family at a minimum cost. It costs about the amount you buy a soda every day, 30-some cents a day, 50 cents. So you could start out with a term policy, and over time you can change that to a whole life where you collect, you start to accrue interest, and you have a bank account. I call it like a bank account, because if you could run into trouble, you can go ahead and borrow from that. And people don't understand that there's so many ways to become healthy as far as the finances. You can save $1 a day or $1 every time you get paid, $10, whatever. But those are the types of things I'm trying to teach people in the community, so that once you have a tragedy, it's not so devastating because you don't have insurance. And I've seen it over and over and over and over again. So that's why, this insurance business it's a good business. It's not only about investments and stocks and this and that. It's about insuring your family and keeping them safe in a time when you may need it. We don't want to talk about it. Important. Yeah, we don't want to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about the elephant in the room, which is death. But we're all going to go there.
Yeah, of course. I took them out because I was hearing a little feedback, but I didn't know if anybody else could hear it. So if there's a problem after that, then I would have to put them back in, but it's only a 30-minute show, so I'm not too worried. I'll just talk louder if I have to. But anyway, all right. So yes, insurance is very important. We all need it. So whether it's life insurance or insurance for your medical, to be able to see a doctor or what have you, it's very, very important.
And a lot of people will, you insure your house, you insure your car, no problem. You're insuring motorcycles and what have you. But what about your life? They don't want to do life insurance. But I understand that, things are kind of tough in certain areas, like our location. We had the steel mills and we had General Motors, all that's gone. People don't have 401ks. They don't have savings. So when a tragedy strikes, GoFundMe. And I don't like that, so GoFundMe is good, because it's a backup, but we shouldn't think of that as an insurance policy. It's not, so that's some of the things. These are some of the things that have motivated me to start the business, start the foundation. So.
Well, you had to get started or get an idea from something or somewhere. You know, so all right, so we're going to talk about that then, because you help people that deal with bereavement. You help people that has lost somebody. You know, that's a big thing. A lot of times people don't always look at that, but that's a big help too. You know, whatever
It is.
help you do or resource you become or you are to people or to your community or church is a big plus. You know, it's a big plus, and that's why we want to put it out there. We want people to know about it. So RDT, Bright Light Foundation. What made
Yes.
you start that and how you started it?
Okay, good question. The RDT is the initials of my son. I lost a son in '95 to gun violence. And this is my way of honoring him. That's the only thing I can do at this point is honor him, honor his memory. So I decided after insurance for years and seeing how the community's getting more violent and people are not prepared. So this is something that would fill gaps when you don't have that structure in place. Okay, so you think about it. There's help for utilities, there's help for rent, there's help for food, there's help for clothing. But when you come down to what we really need help for in the end, there's no agency for it. So I thought to myself, after I lost a nephew in 2016, gun violence again, he was 30, mine was 17. So Brandon, his mom is my sister, and my sister had passed away already. So her husband was holding the fort down, and he did the best he could. You know, Brandon was, he was affected pretty bad about his mom's death. So Brandon went out searching for friends anyway. In the interim, he got killed. His friends turned on him, and so that funeral was the saddest thing I have ever seen. First of all, his dad had to scrape together the money to get the funeral done. After the funeral, okay, people usually bring dinners and bring food to the house, what have you, and you have dinner after the funeral. Well, we went into the venue, which wasn't great. There were maybe 5 dishes. No, I don't think it's that many. 4 or 5 dishes on a table. People are pouring in, wanting to sit down and have a buffet dinner. I mean, have, a sit down dinner, what have you. The repast to me is kind of important because it brings the family together. People that's been out of town, haven't seen them in a long time. It's a social, sort of like a social thing, but it's kind of a necessary part. And you want to bury your family, you want to give them a dignified burial. So that really touched me. And I said, I can't do this again. I can't see this happening. Enough is enough. So therefore, it came to me, let's do something about it. People were talking and everything, but nobody's doing anything. Let's do something about it. I created this foundation in 2019, July. That was before the pandemic. So with that, I went ahead and did the 501(c)(3), and I have an office. I have a board of directors, 8-panel board of directors, and we meet and discuss things. And I have a brick and mortar location where I can have the repast dinners there. I have my office is there, and there's a classroom there. So everything I need is right there in that building. And it's at 421.5 North Avenue in Youngstown, Ohio. So from that point, I just want to say this is a necessary business in this area. I know it's violence everywhere. We just don't know how to stop it. But my mayor, this is a city of only 64,000 people. Okay, so in 2 years, 50 murders. I mean, in the last year was 35, I think is at the end of the year, 35 murders. This year already we're at 37. So this is ridiculous, and people are not prepared. You're not prepared for that. And so that's just where I step in. You know, before a tragedy, we try to teach the insurance, you know, to insure your family. We ain't saying anybody's getting ready to die. Just insure your family just to be safe and comfortable. And like I said, you can insure a whole family off of one person. For instance, if I had 5 kids, they're free riders. You just pay your insurance. The kids are free in most companies. Some of them, no, you know, they might charge a little bit, but yeah, so we want to be insured. I had a cousin that had to bury like 4 of his siblings, and you know, that's hard. And so I wanted to put it out there that there's an agency you can come to learn how to do this. And you know, I could send you to a great insurance agent. I'm an agent myself, but I'm not selling anymore. I'm teaching. So with that being said, we can also, before any tragedy, just classes, basically, financial classes. And I called in some people from the bank or wherever, financial institutions, and they love to just do a day class for you. So during a tragedy, what we do is try to step in. Now, this is something that I want to propose to funeral homes, because that's the only way I can track things and know that people are being truthful. I bought flowers for a family, and the lady said she was indigent, and here she had a $10,000 policy. So I want people coming in, you know, taking money from other people, you know, and when they can, you know, when I can help someone else, you're taking money because you don't want to pay it out of your, you know, policy. So that is that part of that. And
wait, before you finish, do you have a website or anything that people could go to, or maybe even an email, or you know, where the classes are or how they started or something? Put that out.
Absolutely. I have my website is on Instagram, and it's the RDT Bright Light Foundation. So that's what you click into. There's places where you can find my number. You can leave messages. And if you really need to get a hold of me, just email me at anniegibb1955@gmail.com or Annie Gibbs with the S on it, 959@yahoo.com. And I prefer emails because, you know, I'm more apt to be into that, you know, that screen, doing emails and checking them and what have you.
I got you on Facebook when I saw you on Facebook.
Yeah, I have. And
you have the issue?
Facebook. I'm sorry. I have Facebook and I have Instagram. I apologize. But, I told people don't call me. So this is where you can contact me. Okay.
I like to chat.
Okay.
And feedback whether these things is in or not. I'm worried about that a little bit.
Okay.
You know, but I see the things circling. I'm having issues with the internet and things like that, but I can't tell what's going on. But I would like to say that, you know, I like what you're doing, and I like how you're doing it. That the people that don't have money for these things or can afford these things, you are doing your best to raise money and to put money out there, and that's a good thing. You know, you got to get people that maybe some don't have any food, even though we are known to have the food together if nothing else is together. You know, but you never know. Sometimes people can't afford flowers. You see, you know, that they, you know, people don't have flowers or unmarked graves. What is that? Potter's Field. When they don't have food, they have to put them in Potter's Field. So, you know, you have to take care of life just like I guess you take care of death. And it's a hard pill to swallow, and sometimes we don't want to hear it or know it, but I had to prepare myself for the same things, you know what I mean? To even be buried next to my husband and things like that. I forgot he had gotten that plot for us a long time ago. And where his mother's in there, and he's unfortunately in there with her. But I'm just saying, you just have to prepare these things like you prepare for your children. Everything need preparation.
Exactly.
But I love what you're doing. Do you have any main success story or a story that touched your heart that you would like to say or talk about?
Oh, absolutely. I have a ton of stories, but believe me, after 20 years in insurance, you have stories. Okay, so the reason why, you know what, I didn't even introduce myself as, let you know about me. I have 2 grown-up children. The one was deceased. I was divorced, married 8 years. Okay, I consider myself a community activist and a life coach. And also I consider myself elder advocate because I help the elder a lot as well. So that's all part of my business. But back to the business. Now we also will help people with tombstones. We're working on grants. So if these grants come through, that's part of my plan is to be able to help people with whatever they need through the gap, fill the gap in the funeral portion of it. I can't pay for funerals. That's just like too much. But I'm thinking, in my business plan, I have that we would pay for anything that would lead you to be able to just close those gaps. Clothes for the deceased, flowers, tombstones, the repast dinner, that type of thing. Okay, so that's what we do as far as the, when the tragedy strikes. Okay, so I do as much as I can. I actually set up these dinners myself. I did 8 already this year. I mean, since I started, I did 8 repast dinners. And, it takes the stress off of the family. Excuse me? Yeah, it takes the stress off of
Sorry, I saw the.
That's time that you can spend with your family.
I saw it. I saw the flower that you was giving out, that you was giving away, giving had death in the family.
Mm-hmm. So we do a lot of things like that.
I thought it was beautiful picture.
Mm-hmm. And so we do a lot of things like that, and then it comes down to the fundraising. Well,
talk about
that's part of what I do after. Say everything is said and done. The deceased has been buried. This person is going to be sitting around sad, maybe isolating themselves. And, that's the time when you need to step in and try to bring that person out of their shell. Bring them out. We've done so many fun fundraisers. I did a paint and sip, which was fun. It was a football themed paint and sip that got everybody coming out, and, the people who lost loved ones. Matter of fact, I had a friend that lost 3 people. As a matter of fact, her family is just dying off. I mean, 3 close people. Her daughter in February. Well, her husband had already passed the year before, and then her daughter in February, and her sister in August. Sister died in 5 months after she found out she had a brain tumor. She died in 5 months. That was one of my best friends. That's the very first paint and sip, the very first repast that I did, and it was really nice. And I just did it because it was her, my best friend, and she only had 2 daughters who were young, and they didn't know how to go about this. They was just going to do nothing. So that was very much appreciated by our family. And then, if you need that service, which I wanted to go through the funeral homes to put that on as part of their package, but I'm not having a lot of success with that right now. But I have another funeral home that I think he'll listen, I don't want to take anything from them. I want to enhance their package. So another thing is after these deaths or, bereavements, we have networking. I take people out to a game room and they play games and they love that. And we have like a dinner, we have lunch while we're there. And they be calling me, are we going to the spot? We're going to the spot. So it's something that, get people out and they really enjoy it. And so we also had Christmas party. I spent a lot of money last year, but I don't care. It was nice to just see people so happy. And, we do crafts and classes and stuff like that. So
that's great.
Yeah. And so there is a word for people like me and you. Do you know what it is?
Tell me.
It's called altruistic personalities. Altruistic. Mm-hmm. And the definition is a person. Let me just say what it is now. It's a person, the act of giving of oneself out of a genuine concern for others. Genuine concern for other people. It is somewhat genetic coded. It's inherited from my grandma. That's where I get it from. Sometimes, I wonder about it. It changes you when you volunteer or you do something good for people. I could care less about the publicity. I want publicity now so people will know what I'm doing. But as far as, all out in public doing, no, that's not me. I'm a behind the scenes kind of person. But anyway, that's what it is. And it's out of just me. I don't know why. I don't even care about the money or anything. It's just, I like to help people. And I think it's a good thing for the community because
you create, you're creative, you got something to offer, you put it out there. I mean, it might be a hard time in the sad time, but to kill some of the stress and the worry, actually even take them out or plan an event. That's a big thing, and that's a good thing, and that's a needed thing. That's therapeutic. You know what I mean? That's what I do when somebody passed. I don't mind being around with all the action, all the people around, but really things start bothering you when everybody's gone. And you see the reality sets in and stuff like that. So that's when I use the phone call, or I go to your house and start cooking or seeing what's needed. I just look around and see that something's needed. Maybe your house needs cleaning or laundry. You might forget those things when you go into depression, when you lose a loved one or somebody.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
I went through it. That's why I know. When my son passed, I stayed in bed 6 months. I mean, I was useless. It's a shock to your body and your mind,
It really is. It really is. When my husband died, I thought I would never get out of that hole. I felt like I couldn't get out. I tried everything. All the things I do to help people, I was trying to use it on myself, and I couldn't hardly get it to work. And I couldn't stay focused to help myself. I didn't help anybody else but me. And that's sad. And I don't understand why I'm like that or what happened. But that's the way it is. But I did a lot of praying and a lot of trusting God, and that's how I was able to see. And some of my church and my family came to my rescue, and they had to, help me get out of that hole. Work was therapeutic, helping others.
That's the worst thing, is to get stuck in there and not even get out. Don't even try. Some people just want to be there, like, leave me alone. But this is why I do this, because I know from my own experience, if I didn't get out of that bed and go do something, I don't know if I would have been here, because I mean, it was that hard. It was hard. But I've helped my friend. She, she's just a happier person. She lost her daughter, and her husband and her sister, all in a 2-year period. That's hard.
It is.
So,
It is. It really is. I had a 2-year. In 2 years, we had lost 11 people in the family, and that was hard, including my parents, my grandmother, and everything. And that was hard. And I tell you, you really got to push yourself. You really got to pray. You got to take everything to get your mind straight and your life back, because it's not always easy. So organizations and foundations like yours can be a true blessing to the community, and it already has. You know what I mean? And I hope, you know, and I'm just glad you came on the show. You didn't know me from anything, and I contacted you and you came on the show. I'm appreciating that about you. And I really thank you so much for what you're doing for other people, because it's a needed thing and something that's really not heard of. And if I can help in any way to get you more connected with this or grants or anything like that, I'm a resourceful woman. And I will help anything and anybody for free. I'm not trying to make any money of it or out of it, you know, but I am glad that you're out there. I'm glad that you're doing this kind of thing. And I'm glad you put out there what, if somebody out there was trying to do what you're doing or start what you're doing or anything, what advice or how would you encourage them for doing this type of foundation or making this big fat step?
Well, the hardest part is to get my publicity, you know, out there. I can do the local radio stations and TV, but it's hard to get in. Some people think you just want to be on TV. No, that's not it. You know, so it's hard to get in locally. And they will come out to events and, you know, take that and put it on the news, on the 6 o'clock news. But my advice would be, don't jump out there and do things that cost you money, because I mean, you have to pay, you have to spend money, true enough. But I did things like a TV raffle, which didn't make sense. I didn't have to do that because it's COVID put a hatchet to it. I thought I thought I could make a lot for the foundation, just raffling off one of those big 55-inch TVs. It ended up, I had the YWCA gymnasium for 100 people. And it ended up, they didn't want no more than 25 people. And I couldn't get on Facebook soon enough to do a live raffle, you know, I ended up really losing on that deal. But it's my passion. I don't care if I did lose the money. It's a way of getting my name out there. People know that you're sincere. If you're spending your own money, you have to be sincere. And I am sincere, and I want this business to, thrive, because I had a friend. You talk about stories now. I had a friend. She passed away.
My goodness. Her
body sat in the morgue until they threatened somebody in her family, come get this body and bury her. The person didn't have but one or two members left in her family. So things like that, there needs to be a place you could just go in there, talk about it. But I don't want a stampede of people thinking I'm paying for funerals, but you have to have support for people when they're down and out, they have nowhere to turn. And that's really the reason for this. And so another thing is that I just found out recently, and I'm going to try to capitalize on this, is that our city just received $82 million towards All America, just revitalizing the area and coming up with issues that need to be taken care of. So they had a meeting last Wednesday. The higher ups.
No. What happened, Annie? I'm about to end the show in a little while, so I'm trying to get you. Oh, you need something to drink?
Yes.
Gotta keep it all around you. I know. I got everything around me because stuff happens. Your throat get parched. Yeah, and everything like that, Yeah, you got to use your own money. I've used all my own money to do the shows and stuff like that. And you just got to, for Blessed Kidney Connections, my company, I used all my money all the time.
Yeah, so we're not complaining about that. We're just
but it's a true thing. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, I understand. Because people think that I have these big grants and all this stuff. I'm sitting on money and I'm doing this because I want to make money from them. It's not even about that. And so the city received all this money, and they had a closed door meeting. So we don't know what the money's going towards, probably the infrastructure or whatever. But I want to see if I can speak with the mayor, put this in his ear, and see what comes out of that. We have Mayor Tito Brown. He was reelected, and we have a new chief of police as well. So, and they know
in Ohio.
Yes,
Ohio.
Youngstown,
There's a lot of crime out there.
Oh, Youngstown, Ohio. We're like 60 miles southeast of Cleveland, and right on the Pennsylvania border, like 40 miles east of Akron. And for a little city like this, it's challenging for these police to do this, and they're trying to get more bigger police force, So we have a new chief of police, so hopefully he can get a rap on this. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep pushing forward. I put out a lot of donor letters. That's one of the things I do. I sit down and I'll do a lot of donation letters and all these different fundraisers. And they're fun to do, so I don't mind doing them. I have fun doing the fundraisers, but I do need support from the community. I need people to know this is a serious business, and that we need to take care of our own, so they don't have to humiliate their family going online, begging for money for their burials and stuff like that. Yeah. So if you have that locally,
and I guess they do what they gotta do.
Yeah.
They have no choice. You want to help. You want to be added to that to help other people. Now, if you had to give a shout out to anybody, who would you give the shout out to? And if there's anything we didn't mention before I end the show,
I just want to give a shout out to Youngstown in general. I love my city and I want it to thrive. I want, there's a lot of people that are doing small things. They're trying to help. And, we have a beautiful city here. Youngstown is in the middle, but there's suburbs all around, like 5 boroughs, you might say. And people want to stay in the city now, and it's revitalizing. And so I want to give a shout out to Youngstown. I want you to understand that this is a serious business. We need to try to grow here so that whenever someone needs help, there's help to be had, And so, that's basically my story. I just wanted to be sure that people would take the business seriously. And it is my son's birthday, so I want to give a shout out to my birthday boy up in heaven. His nickname was Tutu. And he was born July 4th. Almost didn't get here because his cord was wrapped around his neck, and I had to get a C-section. But I had 17 beautiful years with him, so I want to just say happy birthday, my son.
Wow, happy birthday. In a heavenly place.
Yes.
I mean, you took a tragic thing and birthed something out of it. And a lot of times, sometimes people will crawl up and die or forget about it or stay in a certain way. But you took that and birthed something out of it. And I'm sure he would be proud of you. And I'm glad that God is smiling on you and helping you with this thing, and protecting you where you live because of what you said about the stuff that's going on out there and so much death all around. But I thank God that you're a beacon and a shining light in that place. And you come on, girl, you got it going, and God's gonna rain on it and it's gonna bless it. So you don't have anything to worry about because he got you, he got this, and he got the situation. And I just appreciate you coming on the show and being bold enough to talk about it. You can't worry about people, what they're going to think you taking the money or whatever. Because one thing about grants and stuff, they make you give proof for everything that you spend in coin.
Absolutely.
And, so nobody can shovel it anywhere because they are looking. They said big brother looking, big brother, big mama, big papa, everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate what you're doing and what you're trying to do. And I hope we didn't miss anything. And I thank you for taking this time out because I'm sure, people are around and family. And I still hear fireworks while I'm talking to you and everything like that. I don't know if they left or not, you know what I mean? But family and friends of my nephew and his girlfriend. So I thank you again for being a blessing to other people and letting people know about it. Sometimes you just got to be seen. Some stuff is under a rock, The rock is lifted, so don't worry anything about it. Feel free to put your information in the chat. I'm going back to watch the show because I always go, when I finish the show, I go back and watch it and put things that's needed in there. And stuff like that. You know?
One more thing. I wanted to show the brochure. I have started a little.
All right, bring it over so we can see it.
Yeah, okay. I started this part of the compassionate friends. See that? Compassionate friends. That is for people to come in and just like group sessions. And this is just something we do, every month. And people can come in and tell their story, get it off their chest, or what have you. And so I send these brochures out with my donation letters, and like you need not walk alone, like that. And I do want to shout out to my buddy Rob. This kid right here, he put on a tattoo flash for me and donated money. Rob Comer.
That's a good idea. There's so many things that could be done. You know what I mean? All kind of stuff besides raffles and talent shows. Sometimes people just heart bleed and they will just donate and give.
Yes. This kid's his card was at. I just called him, and he said, "Oh, that's great. I would love to do a flash. They call it a tattoo flash. They give $5 at the door for me." And then each tattoo he does, he give me $5 out of that. And they gave me a nice donation. So I wanted to shout out.
Amen. That's beautiful. That's all right. Shout it on out. Shout it on out. Well, I thank you once again. You've done a fantabulous job. Keep up the great work. Continue to let God use you and stuff like that. Continue to be a beacon, a light, be the salt where the salt is needed. So thank you once again. Enjoy your evening and your extra day off. If I have tomorrow off, thank you, Jesus. So, and I haven't ate dinner, but I'm fine. But thank you again, and blessings to you and your family and all the people out there that may be dealing with bereavement. Hopefully, you may spark something up in other states, because sometimes all it takes is one thing started. Maybe other states need to maybe hook with you or learn from you. To be the starter, the flamethrower, the one that's running with the torch. Come on here. I ain't mad at you. You better go ahead. But you have a fantabulous night. Be well, and thank you once again.
Thank you, Lisa. It was so nice to meet you. Thank you.
Nice to meet you as well. Well, guys, you have heard it. You have heard it. All I can say is praise is comely for the upright. That's part of my scripture for the night. All right. So be well, be safe, have a wonderful time. V for victory. All right. Take care of your kidneys and they'll take care of you. Take care of yourself and you'll be taken care of. God got you. I love you and good night. Thanks for viewing. Peace.
Y'all ready for this? Yeah.
This is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 and the kidney one. My girl, and say, this is